Hi, it's me again. I've just got a couple of things that I wanted to say about Kata practice. There are many aspects of Kata practice and many different ways for you to practice them. You can go through the movements the way that we do it, blah, 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 blah. But there are many levels of understanding of Kata and many levels of practice. So at first, you go through it going, okay, I think it's that foot and that technique, and that foot and that technique, and that foot and that technique. So first you can go through it and just go, I'm just trying to learn the movements, I'm just trying to learn the flow, I'm just trying to learn what I'm supposed to be doing, and just doing it like that. So don't when you're first learning your kata, don't worry about the stance or even the quality of the technique. Try to learn the movements and get to the flow. Once you have an understanding of the flow and the movements, I know this technique comes next, it's this foot with this hand, it's this stance with this technique. Then you want to start working on your stance. Your stance really is the building block, and as I did in the previous video, went through our yellow belt kata with just stance. Stance is very important. So once you've got your stance happening, then you want to work on your technique. This is going through the 5 principles of ninjutsu: balance, focus, technique, strength, speed. So once you've got your stance in place, that's your balance. Next you want to work on, well actually I've skipped over focus. Next you want to work on, with the technique, where am I hitting? What am I doing? What is it that this technique is actually supposed to do? So where am I? Imagine your training partner, your opponent, and imagine from your stance where I'm trying to put my hand, where I'm trying to put my foot, where I'm trying to, whatever it is that I'm trying to do. Then comes your technique. You've got your balance from your stance, you've got your target, your focus. Now you want to work on, okay, which technique am I using? And as you progress, you'll discover that even though there's basic technique embedded within the stance, that techniques become interchangeable. So for example, in our what do you call it? In our yellow belt kata, we've got our first technique with our lower block, and then we've got a kick. It will work just as well with a round kick. It would work just as well with a crescent kick. So and the next technique is, after the kick, is a punch. Well, it would work just as well with a knife hand strike. It would work just as well with a back fist. It would work just as well with a ridge hand. You see what I mean? So as you progress, you can play with the kata and change what it does. Okay, so we've got our balance, where we're striking, our focus, our technique. Next comes strength. So once you've got all that in place, you want to work on the power that you're generating with your technique, and that comes from the flow between your focus, your balance, and your technique. So, for example, I talked about the power coming from your back leg with your reverse punch. Remember that it's not just, you're not just standing in this stance and going. The whole thing is to generate power and hit, and notice the economy of movement. Your whole body is engaged in every technique. Your reverse punch is not. Your reverse punch is the entire technique, from your coiling with your hip rotation and your focus and your push and snap. Same with your kick. Your kick is not just, it is the whole technique of lifting the foot up, and with your hips and your bottom leg and your front leg, pushing. It's not just, that has no power. Okay? So then you've got strength. The last thing you should ever focus on when you're doing kata work, and in fact when you're doing martial arts work, is speed. Speed is something that just comes with practice. Balance, focus, and technique, when done correctly, automatically generate strength and speed. Work on these 3, these 2 will come. Balance, focus, technique equals strength and speed. There is still body strengthening work that you have to do. You still have to work on your speed, but if you jump straight to strength and speed, which a lot of people like to do, you won't have any. Okay? So work on your stance, work on your focus, work on your technique, whatever, and watch as the strength and speed are generated. Thank you for your time. I look forward to seeing you on our next video. You together? Right? Yeah. Domo arigato.